Vincent Willem van Gogh was born March 30th, 1853 in Holland and died July 29th, 1890 at the age of 37 years old. Born into an upper-middle-class family, Van Gogh was the son of a pastor. Vincent was highly emotional, lacked self-confidence, and struggled with his identity. He believed that his calling in life was to be a preacher. However, it took years for him to discover his calling as an artist. Van Gogh was a serious and thoughtful child. He was taught at home by his mother and was later placed in a boarding school. His interest in art began at a young age. He was encouraged to draw as a child by his mother, and his early drawings are expressive, but are not as intense as his later work. Van Gogh was unsuccessful during his lifetime and was considered a madman and a failure. He is known as the misunderstood genius. In 1886, Van Gogh met famous painters such as Monet, who painted real-life images. He tried to imitate this form of painting. Unable to successfully copy the style, he developed his own more bold and unconventional style. In 1888, Van Gogh spent some time in an insane asylum after getting into a fight with a friend, in which Van Gogh cut off part of his own ear. St. Paul Asylum is a collection of paintings that Vincent van Gogh did when he was a patient at the St. Paul Asylum. During much of his stay there, he was confined to the grounds of the asylum, and he made paintings of the garden, the enclosed wheat field that he could see outside his room, and a few portraits of individuals at the asylum. During his stay at St. Paul Asylum, Van Gogh experienced periods of illness when he could not paint. When he was able to resume, painting provided solace and meaning for him. Nature seemed especially meaningful to him. Trees, the landscape, even caterpillars, as representative of the opportunity for transformation, and budding flowers symbolizing the cycle of life. One of the more recognizable works of this period is the irises. Works of the interior of the hospital convey the isolation and sadness that he felt. From the window of his cell, he saw an enclosed wheat field, the subject of many paintings made from his room. Within the grounds, he also made paintings that were interpretations of some of his favorite paintings by artists that he admired. The Starry Night is an oil-on canvas painted in June 1889. It depicts the view from the east-facing window of his asylum room, just before sunrise, with the addition of an idolized village. When he could leave the grounds of the asylum, he made other works, such as olive trees and landscapes of the local area. In May of 1890, after a couple of years at the asylum, he seemed much better and left. 2 months later, he died from what was believed to have been a self-inflicted gunshot wound. During his brief career, he did not experience much success. He sold only one painting, lived in poverty, malnourished, and overworked. The money he had was supplied by his brother Theo and was used primarily for art supplies, coffee, and cigarettes. Van Gogh's finest works were produced in less than 3 years in a technique that grew more and more impassioned in brushstroke, in symbolic and intense color, in surface tension, and in the movement and vibration of form and line. Van Gogh's form and content are powerful, dramatic, lyrically rhythmic, imaginative, and emotional, for the artist was completely absorbed in the effort to explain either his struggle against madness or his comprehension of the spiritual essence of man and nature. In spite of his lack of success during his lifetime, Van Gogh's legacy lives on, having left a lasting impact on the world of art. Van Gogh is now viewed as one of the most influential artists, having helped lay the foundations of modern art.